In the previous lesson, we looked at some of the different types of operators in C#. We looked at the assignment operator and how they can be used to assign a value to a variable. We also looked at arithmetic operators, which are used to perform basic mathematical operations, such as addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. In this lesson, we are going to look at some of the other types of operators in C#. Specifically, we are going to focus on comparison operators and logical operators. As their name suggests, comparison operators are used to compare two values. The return value of a comparison operator is either true or false. Examples of comparison operators include equal to, greater than, and less than. Logical operators are used to determine the logic between values. Like operator values, they have a return value of either true or false. Examples of a logical operator is an and condition. This is where two values must both be true for the condition to be met. Comparison operators are one of the most important parts of the C# language. They help us to find answers and make decisions based on condition. If we type int x equals 5, we can also write int y equals 5. We can then compare the values of x and y. We can do this by typing if x equals y inside brackets. We will also make an opening and closing curly bracket, which is where we will place our code. You might have noticed that we have used two equal signs. This is because a single equal sign is used as an assignment operator, which we covered in the last lesson. So to compare two values, we have to use two equal signs. The code we are going to run is called an if statement. We won't go into too much detail on this because we will be covering it in a later lesson. For now, all you need to know is that if the condition inside the statement is true, the code inside the curly brackets will execute. If the statement is false, the code inside the curly brackets will not execute. Let's put a console.writeLine statement inside the curly brackets, and we will say condition was true. We are going to place another console.writeLine statement outside the curly brackets. Here we will just say end of program. Let's run the program and see what happens. Both statements are displayed. This is because x was equal to y. So the condition was true and the statement was executed. The end of program statement was executed as this will run regardless because it is outside the curly brackets. This means that it will run whether this statement was true or false. If we change the value of y to be 6, x and y are no longer equal, we can run the program again. As you can see, we only see the statement end of program. We no longer see the statement condition was true. As the statement was false, the program will ignore any code inside the if statement. The program will then continue running the rest of the code. If we change the first equal signs to an exclamation mark, this is the symbol for not equal to. This basically means that the condition is true and the code inside the brackets will run as long as x and y are not the same. Let's run the program again. As you can see, both statements are displayed again because x and y are not the same, so the condition was true. If we change the condition statement to a greater than symbol, the condition will be true if x is greater than y. Let's run the program. We only get the end of program statement because the condition was false. We can change to a less than symbol and run the program. As you can see, both statements are again displayed. This is because x is less than y, so the statement is true. If we put an equal sign after the less than symbol, this changes the condition to a less than or equals to statement. This means the condition will be true if x is less than or equal to y. Let's run the program. As you can see, the condition is still true and both statements are displayed. We can change to a greater than or equals to condition by changing the symbol. Let's run the program. As you can see, we only get the end of program statement because x is not greater than or equal to y. Let's change the value of y to be 5 again. Now x and y are the same. Let's run the program. Both statements are displayed as x and y are the same, and the condition is greater than or equal to. The condition is true. The next type of operators we are going to look at are called logical operators. Logical operators are used to determine the logic between variables or values. The first type of logical operator we are going to look at is the AND condition. This is used to check that 2 or more conditions are true in order for the overall condition to be true. We can change the condition of the if statement to say if x is equal to 5 and y is equal to 5. 2 ampersand symbols are used for an operator. In order for the code inside the brackets to run, both x and y need to be equal to 5. Let's run the program and see what happens. Both statements are displayed, which means the condition was true. Let's change the value of y back to 6 and run the program again. As you can see, we only get the end of program statement because both of the conditions weren't true, so the overall statement is false. We can change the 2 ampersand symbols to bar symbols. This is the operator for an OR condition. This means if one of the conditions are true, the overall condition is true. Let's run the program. Both statements are displayed because one of the conditions were true. Let's change the condition to only say x is equal to 5. We can then put an exclamation mark in front of the statement. This is a not condition. This basically inverts the result. If the condition inside the bracket is true, the overall result is false, and vice versa. As x is equal to 5, let's run the program and see what happened. As you can see, we only get the end of program statement. This is because the overall result is inverted. In the next lesson, we are going to look at the if statement in more detail. If you enjoyed this lesson, please like the video and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next lesson.